Tom grew up in Oregon, and his long and distinguished career started in 1960 with service in the U.S. Navy, where he served as a hospital coroner. Tom served a 16-month tour of Vietnam in what was called the Brown Water Navy, which was made up of small, fast patrol boats that patrolled the Mekong Delta. During that time, he was awarded the Medal for Bravery. On his discharge in 1965, Tom returned to Portland, Oregon, and started working with AA Ambulance Company, and he assisted in the creation of the National Registry of Emergency Medical Technicians. In 1969, Tom went to Honolulu as an ambulance supervisor, and he returned to the USA in 1971 to take the advanced life support training in one of the very first paramedic programs. And then he worked on as a helicopter flight medic in the Wildlands. In 1976, Tom assisted with paramedic training with Seattle's pioneering Medic One program and Shepherd Ambulance Service. It was a time of immense change in how paramedicine was evolving. In the 1980s, Tom's life took him to Saudi Arabia to the King Fayed Hospital in Jeddah. There, following a particularly harrowing mass casualty incident, he assisted with the initiation of their paramedic program. Tom came to Canada in 1990, at a time when the province did not recognize any outside training or experience. So he enrolled in Algonquin College and he took the Emergency Medical Care Assistant program and started all over again in his chosen country. He worked as a primary care paramedic for St. Lawrence Ambulance Service, which later became Rural Metro, and was promoted to operations manager in 1998. Tom came over to Ottawa Paramedic Service with the download from the province in 2001. He became our regulatory compliance officer. Tom was a lifelong learner, and late in life he became a certified infection control professional with the Canadian Hospital Infection Control Association. Tom was absolutely dedicated to his role to protect the public, our patients, and his colleagues and their families by advocating for proper infection control practices and procedures. Tom was a certified paramedic in the end of his days. It was his pride, it was his profession. He lived life large and generously, giving of himself in the service of others. It was an honor to be his supervisor. It was an honor to work with him.
Wanted to explore and understand issues and make suggestions on how things could be better for his colleagues. In fact, it is because of Tom that changes were implemented for his fellow employees who were beyond what we told is the normal retirement age. Whether we were discussing work issues, family, health concerns, or the state of the world, the constant was that Tom was always interested and was always respectful. And that truly is the theme of my thoughts regarding Tom. He respected his family, his co-workers, the people he served, and the work that he did. No one was more serious than Tom that without respect, we are but a shadow of what we can be. I am so proud to be.
Tom Dunn was a very special man. To dedicate such a demanding and unique career to span 5 decades is no less a phenomenal feat, and those special people are few and far between. I am speaking here from the hearts of the paramedics who rode with him out in the field, taught with him in the classroom, convened with him at meetings, shared meals with him in the lunchroom, and laughed with him everywhere. Tom had another family, the paramedic family. As one can clearly see here today, it is quite a large family. Tom, the man, was in awe of paramedics and their impact on patients' lives, while being oblivious to the fact that he himself had impacted so many others during his tenure here with us. He touched the lives of all of us in one way or another, both professionally and emotionally, and always in a positive manner. He could be counted upon as a teacher, resource person, advisor, and most of all, a friend. In closing, to Tom's family, from our family to yours, thank you so much for bringing Tom to us and sharing him with us. On behalf of the most junior of rookies to the most seasoned of veterans, I can state unequivocally that we all consider ourselves extremely lucky to have known him and count on him as a dear friend. Please rest assured and be comforted in the knowledge that Tom's legacy has made our paramedical world a safer place to practice. He made a difference, and we owe him a debt of gratitude that we can never repay.
Justin wrote, "Well, Tom, it seems like a long time since I first met you. You proudly wore a St. Lawrence ambulance patch back then. Even then, you were a gentle, mature professional. So many of those boys, there weren't many girls back then, loved working with you. When Action Paramedic came along and reared its noisy, bubbling head, you were supportive and smiling every time we met. I knew if we were heading in some wrong direction, you would speak up. As the system moved ahead, we all moved with it, and we moved proudly. After all these years, you still rule the OPS state wherever you are. Even now, as everyone gathers to pay tribute, you are here, as you will be in our thoughts tomorrow and for a long time to come. You are the sincere, excellent paramedic, the true paramedic. An example for so many of your colleagues who have gathered here. You will understand more than most that there are those you worked with who cannot be here tonight because we need them roaming out there, responding to a crisis, working in the system you helped develop in your quiet, excellent manner over so many years. I am one of those who cannot be here tonight. If you look, you'll find me in the emergency department. I will think of you that way, and when I see you, even if you're not there. Yes, I'll see you around, Tom. To this day, to the last time I saw him, every morning he'd come in the office, usually just a bit after I did, and I'm in pretty early. And I'd say, "Morning, Tom," and he'd say, "Morning, Chief." And I can't tell you how many times I say, "Tom, you don't have to call me Chief." And he said, "Yes, I do." That's the kind of man Tom was. He was a good man. He is a good man. I will personally miss him very much. He was my friend.
Myra, members of Tom's family, friends and colleagues. We've heard many stories about Tom and what he's meant to all of us. A kind and gentle soul that loved his profession and was proud of serving with us. On some days, I'd be sitting in my desk with my door open, and Tom's voice would be very loud as he was speaking to someone on the phone. I would jokingly say to myself, "Geez, is he losing his hearing?" Understanding that affliction is likely in all of our futures from hearing that siren blaring over our head for so many years. But then I'd realize that he was arguing or getting annoyed with some hospital staff person. He was attempting to get information because 2 paramedics had been exposed to something, and like a lioness protecting her cubs, Tom was going to get the information to care about his paramedics come hell or high water. It was a poem for me that reflected how Tom lived, and you've heard a lot of that tonight, the type of man he was. And I'd like to read an excerpt of it tonight, but I'd like to read it to Tom. So you live your life that the fear of death can never enter your heart. Trouble no one about their religion. Respect others in their view and demand that they respect yours. Love your life. Perfect your life. Beautify all things in your life. Seek to make your life long and its purpose in the service of your people. Prepare a noble death song for the day when you cross over the great divide. Always give a word or sign of salute when meeting or passing a friend, even a stranger, when in a lonely place. Show respect to all people and grovel to none. When it comes your time to die, be not like those whose hearts are filled with the fear of death, so that then when their time comes, they weep and pray for a little more time to live their lives over again in a different way. Sing like your death song and a hero and die like one coming home. Rest in peace, my friend Tom.
Tom has a little plaque that has been mounted on his desk for as long as I can remember. It reads, "Finish each day and be done with it. You have done what you could. Some blunders and absurdities no doubt crept in. Forget about them as soon as you can. Tomorrow is a new day. You shall begin it well and serenely." Ralph Waldo Emerson. Tom lived that way, and from the words written and spoken about him, I think many of you already know that. He was a humble man, the wind beneath many wings, and he would be so moved by what you have done here tonight. Thank you, and God bless you all.
At this time, our Sergeant Major will confer the Ottawa Paramedic Service flag that flew over our headquarters on the day that Tom passed away to the Chief, who will present it to his family as a symbol of our appreciation for his dedicated service to his colleagues at Ottawa Paramedic Service and to the citizens of the City of Ottawa.